Have a seat.
Thank you, brother. Sure thing.
It's been a mild December, but tonight the cold is upon us. Pass me one of those sticks, brother. This fire starts rolling over these souls now. They can't do it on ashes.
Here. Very nicely, brother.
What's in the pot?
Cross-eyed?
Well, in this pot are no less than 3 potatoes, half a turnip, some onion skins, and no less than 6 broccoli skins. Veritable feast, wouldn't you agree?
Sounds like too much food for just one person.
Cross-eyed!
An accurate and truthful observation, my friend. Besides, who would just feast on such repast by oneself?
You mean,
Won't you two be my guests?
only if we can pay you something for it.
But Tabby, we ain't got no money.
Lass, money is of little use in a railroad yard.
I got something better than money.
A carrot.
That looks half eaten.
Well, I ate half of it, but it's kind of dirty. But I think it's still there.
Cross-eyed, where did you get any carrot?
It fell off the pushcart from 2nd Avenue.
With a little help from you, I'll bet.
Brother, I accept your gift of 1/2 carrot. Into the pot. It will make the stew all the more delightful.
I wish I had something to contribute.
You have seen hard times, brother.
Sure have.
Then I shall ask you to weep over the pot. To add salt to our stew.
Salt, that reminds me. I think I have some too.
Cross-eyed, where did you get any salt?
From the soup kitchen, I finished it.
Are you sure that's salt? Might be sand from when we slept under the boardwalk.
It's salt. Taste it.
It is salt. Into the pot with it, brother. A pinch of salt is the crowning ingredient to any stew. Now we're going. 15 minutes or so over the fire and the repast can commence.
You talk pretty fancy for I mean, you don't sound like...
Like us.
Brothers, the speech of my former life plagues me still. Overeducated, overambitious, overwhelmed, and then it was all over. But now is not a time to dwell on desperate times.
I thought these was desperate times.
Yes, but at times like this, I like to think of those less fortunate.
I thought we was the less fortunate.
With a feast such as this, filling our nostrils with the smells of what is to come. No, brothers, we are tonight in our own way fortunate. Why, I can remember many a cold night with no prospects whatsoever. And it wasn't always food that was the problem. You take Soapy Smith, for example.
Who's Soapy Smith?
Never heard of him.
Before your time. But I shall still use him to illustrate my point. Soapy Smith used to frequent Madison Square. That is to say, the third bench of Madison Square drinking fountain was his favorite place of repose. A cold December day many years ago, Soapy Smith awoke for a pleasant afternoon repose to the chill of winter finally making its way from Manhattan. The situation forced him to simply think. He had not always been a citizen of the hobo lifestyle. In fact, he had once been a stockbroker on Wall Street. But too much frivolity, a little too much drink, and plenty of late morning arrivals at the exchange had gotten him fired on more than one occasion. And so he began the downward slide that brought him to Madison Square with the temperature dropping. Soapy did not much miss his former life. Simply glancing through an old newspaper every now and again reminded him of all that he had escaped. It had been a pleasant fall, but now that winter was deep upon him, it was time to act.
30 days in the autumn would suit me just fine. 90 would be better.
The jail on Blackwell Island was no Caribbean paradise, but it did provide shelter from the cold and some hot meals included in the price.
Time to get arrested, I think.
Soapy needed to break the law just enough to get arrested for the winter months. Littering or jaywalking weren't going to do it. He needed a crime that was painless, sensible, and guaranteed to land him on the island before darkness set in.
It's lunchtime, I believe.
Instead of going to the soup kitchen or hanging around a fish market as was his usual habit, Soapy went to a quite respectable chop house on 14th Street.
said steak and mash with green beans and a glass of cider if you please.
You will, Willie. And who's going to pay for it?
Not to worry, my dear. Everything will be settled to satisfaction at the end of the meal.
Whatever you say.
Oh, and you may bring me a cigar. A 50-cent one if you please, not one of those nickel cabbages.
Sure.
Soapy knew that a bill of less than $1.50 does not raise the necessary ire to call religious. The added cigar would secure his warm vacation on the island.
Thank you, miss. I will remember this meal for quite some time, I assure you.
You say so.
Soapy enjoyed his steak and mash, took his time with his green beans and cider, and savored his 50-cent cigar. It reminded him of his days on Wall Street, eating such a fine meal in a warm shop house. But he reveled in the fact that there was no office to return to. Instead, he was going to the island.
Excuse me, miss.
What do you want now?
I would like to speak to the manager, please.
What for?
Oh, I have no complaints, you understand. The steak was done to perfection, the green beans steamed with care, the cider cold, and the cigar hot.
So why do you want to speak with Mrs. Soames?
Just ask her to come over here, will you, dear?
Just because he was breaking the law, Soapy saw no reason not to be simple about it.
Is there a problem here?
A slight one. I feel I ought to confess to you that I haven't enough money to cover the cost of the meal. To be more accurate, I don't have any money at all. I'm afraid I've ordered, eaten, and enjoyed this meal under false pretenses. I offer no other explanation, my own dishonesty and underhandedness. I suppose you'd like to call an officer of the law and you will escort me to the station.
Escort you! I'll escort you right out of here!
Madam, there is no need.
I'll teach you to try and welch on me!
Come!
Oh, shout all you want, honey. Keep on shouting as long as you never step foot in my restaurant again. Elsie, inside!
Soapy was all done in. His disappointment at having failed to get arrested was matched by the aches and pains bestowed on him by the gentler sex.
Shocking behavior. What this will come into.
With sore muscles and discouraged heart, Soapy returned to his bench on Madison Square, only to find it occupied by a very proper-looking young lady. Now here was a situation fraught with opportunity.
A pretty and defenseless young creature, subject to the evils of the big city.
Soapy decided that he would play the role of the unsavory masher, bothering the young lady until she called the cop who stood conveniently nearby. It wasn't a role he was comfortable with, but necessity called, and he had to get to the island.
Hello, pretty lady. Don't I know you from someplace? I never forget a pretty face, and you got one quarter of a profile. And now don't tell me your name, it'll come to me. Bedelia. That's the moniker, Bedelia, the girl of my dreams. Hey, let's go have some fun, you and me. I know a saloon down on 10th Avenue.
No, actually, I believe that.
Oh, what's the matter, Bedelia? I'm not bothering you. If I'm not to your liking, there's a cop over there who could rescue you from my unwanted presence.
Okay, well, I don't believe
Oh, good
that.
morning, officer. Is something the matter?
Is this fellow bothering you, miss?
No,
Me bothering the little lady.
of course not. Not at all.
Do you know this man?
Well, I should say I do. He's, my brother-in-law, Charlie Purdue. I ain't seen him in such a long time. I was kind of surprised when he came over to say hello.
Brother-in-law, eh?
Yeah,
my-
my sister Pearl's husband. Ain't that right, Charlie?
My name is...
He's a little surprised himself. Aren't you, Charlie? It's me, Sandra. I would say yes right away, but that cop is staring at us, and I don't much like cops. You know what I mean? Come on, let's go. I'm starving. Let's go.
Take it to the island, I'm going to shreds before my very eyes.
Just a big talker. Is that all you want? Well, I won't have any of it. Said deadbeat Romeo. That's all you are.
Poor Soapy. The island seemed a million miles away now. It was starting to get dark, it was starting to get cold, and he was starting to get desperate. He wanted to scream with rage.
That's disturbing the peace. Good for at least 30 days.
It was worth a try. So, Soapy started ranting and raving like a drunken idiot.
Yeah! Throw the book at him! Let's go! Let's go! Woo! Knock him out! Knock him out! Everybody, let's go! Let's go! Woo! What are you, officer? Dead as a post!
Nothing to be worried about, madam. It's just one of those Yale lads in town celebrating the goose egg they gave her for college day. These are boys, but harmless. On your way.
Soapy Smith was all done in. All his usual methods had failed him, and it looked like he was doomed to live.
What's it take to get arrested in this town?
Oh, look at this rummy. Any swell?
I feel shit about town.
I'm going to be offering, would you say?
More like Skid Row.
Got an ankle, mister?
He ain't got a penny, happy buddy.
You kids give poverty a bad name.
Should we rolling?
What for? We wouldn't find nothing on him but weeds.
Shouldn't you two be in school? Reform school?
I think we done graduated.
Yeah, we all reform now.
Show him how reformed we are.
Sure thing.
Then Soapy lost his temper. He picked up a rock from beneath the leafless bushes at Madison Square and thought of hitting it at the two merchants. But then he got an idea. An idea that was a surefire way to land him on the island by nightfall.
Of course! Destruction of private property, 90 days!
With that, Soapy rushed over to the most expensive-looking storefront in Madison Square and threw the rock right through the front display. Filled with such force and frustration, it caused the glass to shatter and splinter into a million pieces.
Do it.
And then he stood there calmly awaiting the police arrival.
Who done it? Which way did you run off?
I did it. Me, Soapy Smith.
Likely story. You go and smash a window, and then hang around and chat with the police. You're wasting my time.
But I didn't do it, I swear.
Which way do you run?
He didn't run. I didn't run anywhere.
Oh my God! You did! Yes, Miss
Was there no justice in this world? It did not seem so to me.
I will freeze to death before the law in the city comes to its senses.
Soapy wearily returned to his bench in Madison Square, more desperate and disillusioned than ever before, only to find that he was denied even the comfort of his favorite resting place, as a woman was sitting there. But then he saw the woman's umbrella, and inspiration returned to him yet again.
What are you doing with that umbrella?
It looks like rain. I may need it.
Give it to me. It is mine.
No,
What?
I said
Give it to me. It is my umbrella.
I will not. Why don't you call the cop? I see one standing right over there.
Oh, the cheat. Give it to me this instant.
No,
Do not. That is my umbrella. Why would you take my umbrella?
I say it is mine. Oh, officer.
Oh, wait, you. Did you say it was yours?
Yes, I did. Now call a cop before.
There's no need. It was just a mistake. See, I was at the doctor's office and I picked up this umbrella instead of my own, quite by mistake. So if you say it is yours, then I quite believe you. So I'm sorry if there's been any inconvenience. So,
But
good day, sir. Thank you.
Soapy's spirits were at an all-time low.
I have broken every law that I am fit to break, and what is my reward? A warm place on the island? No. Instead, I get a practically new umbrella.
Not even during his days on Wall Street has Soapy seen such injustice. It seemed that he could not get arrested, no matter how hard he tried. Instead of New York's finest clapping him in irons, he was treated like a king.
It's not to make you lose faith in humankind.
It was now dark, and Soapy aimlessly wandered the streets of Lower Manhattan. Before he knew it, he came to a lonely corner with which he was not familiar, and heard a sound that he had not heard for many, many years.
What is that? A Christmas hymn?
Soapy followed the sound down a small alley to a small church with stained glass windows that lit up his face with a soft glow.
I remember that hymn. Long, long ago.
Then suddenly, Soapy remembered that there were still such things as Christmas hymns and roses and mothers that loved their children and many other wonderful things that he had forgotten all about. In his weariness and disappointment, he started to feel shame, something he hadn't felt in a long time.
How could I have come to this? Who can I possibly blame for letting this happen to me? No one.
And as he listened to the music, a tear came to his eye. Hopes and dreams that had been long dead slowly awoke within him. From the stained glass windows seemed to shine right through and illuminate his damaged soul.
It's not too late. All is not lost.
He suddenly felt lighter than air, full of hope.
I can turn my life around. First thing tomorrow, I'll go back to Wall Street. There are surely still some people there who must remember me. I'll work hard and prove to them that I've changed. I'll show them all that Chauncey J. Smith can still be somebody in this world.
Look around, sir. It's a respectful neighborhood. There's no loitering here. You're coming with me. Let's do
Is that stew ready yet?
Oh, you know,
What happened to Soapy Smith?
Soapy? Oh, he got the chance on the island.
So he got what he wanted.
In a way, yes. Gentlemen, I believe dinner is ready.
About time. Cross-eyed.
I have no plates, but I have here 2 more forks. Help yourselves.
As I live and breathe, it's Soapy Smith.
Peg? Is that you, Peg?
It sure is. Well, I ain't seen you since, like,
A long time, Peg, a very long time. Please, have a seat. Would you like some stew?
a dog got please.
Ah, there's plenty. Help yourself.
You always was a sweetie. You know that.
So you've always told me. Peg, I'd like you to meet Tabby
Pleased to meet you.
and Cross-Eye.
Hi.
Gentlemen, this lovely lady is Gimpy Peg. Me and her go way back together.
Wait a minute. What did she call you?
Soapy Smith. This is tasty stuff.
But I thought,
I told you I knew Soapy Smith well.
so you never changed your ways. All that about becoming somebody and getting a job, it never happened?
What do you think, Tabby?
By the looks of you, I'd say no.
Very acute observation.
Soapy always was one for fancy pots. Sometimes you could set a whole boxcar cranks to laughing.
Now eat up, Peg. You don't want your stew to get cold.
Don't you want any more?
No, I think I've had my fill.
Mr. Smith,
What are you doing here?
it's nearly 8 o'clock, sir. Mrs. Smith is waiting. The guests will be arriving soon.
Oh, right you are. You should forgive me if I show up like this.
Is this cop bothering you, Soapy?
Oh, no cop, Peg. Don't worry about me.
He looks like some kind of cop.
Where's the car, Holmes?
The park is right on the other side of the switch house, sir.
Well, it's been so nice nice meeting you all, and good to see you again, Peg.
I know. Like a bad penny. I can turn up here and there.
You really must be going, sir.
Right you are. Goodbye, all. Oh, Pops, I almost forgot. What are these? $10 bills. What would these fine people do with a $10 bill? They'd be running the very first time they tried to use it. I told you, singles. Ah, that's much better. Peg, 10 $1 bills for you,
What's Soapy?
and 10 for you, Tabby, and 10 for you, Cross-Eye.
What's the catch?
Oh, no cash. No wonder they call him Cross-Eye.
Oh, gee, thanks, Soapy. I mean, Mr. Smith. Say thank you, Cross-Eye.
Thanks.
Bless you, Soapy. Bless you.
Until we meet again, farewell all.
Look,